"Colleen!" I screamed. Colleen heard me call for her and she appeared at the door. She was a slight redhead with a splash of freckles dancing around her rather short button nose. She perpetually had a look on her face of startle, because that's just the way her eyes were. They were wide, with the irises taking up not as much space as most other people's irises do, so the whites of her eyes were dominant. Not that she was an unattractive girl. On the contrary, she was quite pretty. But I had to admit that her perpetual expression of alarm unnerved me just a little bit. "Yeah, what do you need?" she asked me. She was spooning out some yogurt out of a small container, scooping the concoction with gusto, as if she hadn't eaten in days. "Nothing. I just want you to screen out people who call a little bit better. I don't like to have my time wasted with frivolous claims." "You told me you wanted to get more into personal injury," Colleen said defensively. "The girl said she was hurt at a water park. I thought it sounded like a good one." See, here's the thing. You need to dig a little deeper into what these people actually did. Yes, if she was hurt at a water park and it was during the business hours, then I would agree with you. It probably would be a decent case. But that wasn't what happened here. The girl broke into the water park and got hurt. Broke into it, as in trespassing. As in committing a crime. I hate to say it, but she doesn't have a leg to stand on. Colleen pointed at me with her spoon. "I don't think that's true. Listen, I've taken classes for my paralegal degree, and I studied case law too, and one of the things I learned was that sometimes kids will jump a fence and get hurt in a neighbor's pool, and that neighbor has to pay. What's the difference between that happening and this?" I rolled my eyes. "I think you know just enough to be dangerous, but not enough to know what you're talking about. You're talking about the attractive nuisance doctrine, which is when a neighbor has a pool, but no fence around it. It's just in their backyard and there's no fence, or maybe the gate is open or something else. Sometimes a kid can get hurt in the pool, even though the kid's trespassing and the kid might have grounds for a lawsuit. By the way, California does not have the attractive nuisance doctrine anymore, but that's neither here nor there. In this case, this woman broke into that water park. She apparently cut the deadbolt to get into the park. So, apples and oranges." Colleen's pale face turned red, and she looked down at her shoes.